Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Kings Island. I said Kings Island. Get it together, editor. Ladies and gentlemen, Kings Island, one of the best amusement parks in the entirety of the United States. Scrap that, North America, actually scrap that again, the entire world basically. And it's at this amusement park where you'll find many world-class attractions, such as Diamondback, Orion, The Beast, Mystic Timbers, and what else? Oh, sorry, I'm looking off my cheat sheet again. We might still be in the first month of 2025, but Kings Island fans, including myself, are already looking ahead for 2026. And you're probably not asking, man, what is happening at Kings Island 2026? Well, in case you were asking, Kings Island is going to get a family thrill attraction for the park next year. And we know this information because they just straight up told us, like last year, which is pretty awesome. So what is happening to Kings Island 2026? I think I have a pretty good idea, and I would say that Maestro and the gang are here to stay, and the theater that once occupied these grounds is here for another round. When Kings Island says they're adding a new family thrill attraction to their park in 2026, there's only one thing that comes to my mind. We're gonna have to go all the way back in time to 1992 for the grand opening of Phantom Theater. So wait a second here, why are we talking about an attraction that closed more than 20 years ago when the topic of this video is about a new attraction opening next year? That is because, here's the real kicker here, I believe that the 2026 family thrill attraction coming to Kings Island is a revival of the Phantom Theater. So what is the Phantom Theater, you might be asking? That's okay, because a lot of people don't know what Phantom Theater is. Phantom Theater is a dark ride. That's right, folks, it was an old school dark ride at Kings Island located where Boo Blasters on Boo Hill is today, opening from 1992 to 2002. Oh wow, that's a lot of two. For the theme of the attraction, the Phantom Theater told the story of an abandoned theater that was overrun by its performers that have since died on the stage while performing. Yeah. Featuring an all-star cast of the Great Garbanzo, a daredevil, Houdini, a magician, Hilda Bavine, an opera singer, Maestro, the theater organist, and No Legs Larry, your head and torso usher. And this ride seemed pretty awesome and really cool. Unfortunately, I missed out on it. Well, that sucks. Eventually, 10 years later in 2002, the ride closed up and got turned into a Scooby-Doo dark ride. Now, if we analyze the Scooby-Doo dark ride here, a lot of people actually give it crap because it replaced Phantom Theater, a beloved attraction at Kings Island. Now, like I said, I haven't ridden Phantom Theater or been on the Scooby-Doo version of this dark ride, but based off the POV, this isn't that bad of a dark ride. It actually looks pretty fun to have been on. A lot of times, people will clump the Scooby-Doo dark ride and Boo Blasters on Boo Hill as one universal ride. However, that is simply not the case. These are two separate attractions. Maybe not attractions, but these are two different themes and stories. And yes, it's very obvious that the Boo Blasters dark ride is not the greatest dark ride at all, but we have to remember that these are not the same ride and we can't clump them together, so we can't have a negative impact on the Scooby-Doo dark ride, if that makes any sense at all. And also, everything I've just said is obsolete because everyone and their grandma will say that Phantom Theater was the better dark ride out of all three of them.
And our guests, you know, they keep asking. It's probably the most requested ride that our guests request we bring back. So we did it in a little different way for our 50th anniversary.
So the Phantom Theater will be back at Kings Island in 2026 to make an attraction of their own again. Need proof? I got you. Behold Phantom Theater Encore, in 2022, the theatrical show that brought the cast of characters back to the parks again. Not in the form of a ride, but as I said, in the form of a show. Now, why didn't Kings Island just bring back the Phantom Theater ride? Ladies and gentlemen, Kings Island wanted to bring back Phantom Theater, but they didn't know if it was a smart or financially good decision to do so. So they went ahead and brought Phantom Theater back in the version of a temporary show to see if the love for Phantom Theater was still out there, and at the end of the day, the response was an overwhelming yes. The show was originally supposed to be here for one season, but people loved it so much it stayed around for the 2023 season as well. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I believe this show was part of a test to see if Phantom Theater had a place in the park still. And with an overwhelming support of Phantom Theater, Kings Island spent the last couple of years planning out a new for 2026 family thrill attraction with the Phantom Theater theme. And for my prediction, I bring to the table two ride types and two locations for the new Phantom Theater. Okay, it's time to change the music track for this video. I couldn't think of a nice transition or a way to get into the next audio, so I'm just stopping the video now and restarting in 3, 2, 1. Ride location number 1 is putting the Phantom Theater back into the original spot of where the old Phantom Theater was, that being where Boo Blasters on Boo Hill is today. I don't know who said this or where I heard it from, but I heard something back a couple of years ago that Kings Island was exploring options with Boo Blasters. Either they wanted to revamp it, refurb it, give it a nice new theme, or just get rid of it entirely for something new. And this could be it, where they're saying out with the old and in with the new, and bringing back the old, I guess, with Phantom Theater. I think it would be very fitting if Phantom Theater came back to the same house it was in before in the same building. Kings Island is considered one of the best theme parks in the entirety of North America, and for their one and only dark ride to be Boo Blasters, I think it really puts a big hole in their lineup of attractions. Now, if we put it back into its original building, we have a couple of ride options we can play around with. For one, we could just bring back the Phantom Theater, like the original version, but just an updated version, like a 2026 version. We could have better animatronics, newer special effects, set design. We can just bring back the original Phantom Theater, but in a 2026 version. We can even use the same track layout and the same ride cars as Boo Blasters has right now. Those components were used in the original Phantom Theater. We could just modify them to fit them into the 4th alteration of this attraction. However, unfortunately, I feel like this is the least likely option for a Phantom Theater revival. Over the last 20-ish years, we've seen amusement parks add dark rides where you shoot targets in them. And I feel like if Kings Island was to make a new dark ride in this location, it would be a shooting dark ride again. An example here being Knott's Berry Tales at Knott's Berry Farm, which was a shooting dark ride that was built at Knott's Berry Farm a few years back, with most of the ride using screens for targets, but with a few practical sets as well. I could definitely see Kings Island bringing this type of ride setup to the Boo Blasters building to create the new Phantom Theater. Keep the shooting aspect of the ride from Boo Blasters, make it a Phantom Theater theme, but just have a lot more practical effects and some good animatronics. But if you ask me personally, I think Kings Island is gonna go with their second idea, their plan B, and that is the Efteling route. Behold Dance Macabre, the newest dark ride at Efteling at this recorded moment. I don't know how to exactly describe this ride, it's just really weird. I guess I can describe it. It's like if a teacups could move in the 4th dimension. That's a good example, I would say. Technically, it's a dynamic motion stage from Intamin, I believe, and Kings Island. Please buy it! I believe the story of this attraction at Efteling is that a music composer comes back from the dead and like does some crazy things. And come to think of it, that's basically just the Phantom Theater story. Maestro is an organist, and he's the maestro of the organ, and he's a music composer, and he comes back from the dead, especially from the Phantom Theater show. They come back from the dead to the living for one more show to show to the world, and you could be part of the final show. Like, oh, that would be so cool. You are part of the act. You're part of the final show, and the maestro, he's taking control. He's controlling the whole show, and you get what yeah. So Kings Island, I think that'd be a pretty good idea to purchase this attraction and use my idea. That'd be pretty awesome. Truth be told, this is the end of the video. I'm done making it now. I don't want to spend any more time on it. And also, truth be told, this video took me a month and a half to make. This video spanned the 8 minutes or something of this video. Took me a month and a half because I don't have a lot of dedication sometimes. But I'll be back now. I'll be back. I promise. Making more videos. Be great. I'm whispering. Have a great day and stay to the end for a super surprise.